Oh, hey, neighbor. I'm sorry. I was still thinking of let that camera roll. It's not a camera, but I don't know what made me think of it at all. Hey, neighbor. So, we are having some neighborly cups of tea.
Yes, it's less stress.
Well, this cup is not that neighborly. Look, it made a water line.
Oh, no.
That's how you know you're getting too old for things, because I have a watermark on my table.
And you're, like, upset about it now?
Yeah. Actually, you know, it might not actually.
I think if you rub mayonnaise on it, it makes it feel better.
Food lube.
The food lube.
We're multi-purpose food lube.
Hell yeah, it helps get rid of that. It will.
Okay.
Rub it on there. Trust me.
I feel better now. I have actually, to my disposal, like 2 containers of mayo because I'm privileged enough to be able to afford 2 tubs of mayo now.
Dang, you are bougie.
Fancy.
Yeah. So we're like, that's why when I come to your place now, we have fried chicken and tea.
I feel bad that the only thing in excess in my house is mayonnaise. Like, that's all I can offer my guests is mayonnaise.
Same.
If you don't have mayonnaise in your house, what are you doing? Just kidding.
Probably having Miracle Whip or like living a better life than mayonnaise.
Listen, I respect your wishes for Miracle Whip.
I don't.
But
like, I do not do Miracle Whip. Okay, this leads us into disappointing things.
That is very disappointing when you think you're going to get a dollop of mayo and you get a dollop of
fucking white shit that's called Miracle Whip.
Not fucking daisies, I'll tell you that.
What the fuck is the miracle?
I don't
that
know.
I didn't spit it out and vomit on you?
I feel like they did like a science experiment and we're like, oh, it's a miracle. I'll eat this shit. I don't know what it is.
What constitutes a miracle? Okay, because I need to see the receipts.
Not only is it a miracle, it's a whip of miracle.
Well, it's a miracle they used that whip on that white shit. I don't know.
Gross. Well, so tell me something disappointing.
Something disappointing? The state of our economy?
Oh, God.
Nah. The economy actually isn't doing that bad. Mm-hmm. It's the people who are running shit that are doing bad. They freak me the fuck out.
They do.
And who knows when this is going to come out in terms of, like, what they've done between now and when this is out into the ether. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, they've already fucking pooped on us and everyone else when they let that little bitch Brett get onto the Supreme Court. Okay? Like, your dude bro Brett is now on the Supreme Court, okay? Just know that it's the guy who was in the club about vomiting because he drank to excess.
You know, I think the worst part was people debating not over, you know, his usefulness or contributions to the world, but people were debating on whether the woman who allegedly was raped by this guy, whether or not she was telling the truth. And I'm like, okay, so whether it be truth or not, like, why is that the focus on this guy, too? Like, that...
Well, they want to shift the focus and turn the blame onto her. That was, like, not surprising, and it was like how they were so shocked and appalled and emotional about how his reputation was gonna be ruined and he's just such a good guy, and fuck you.
Good guys could never do bad things.
Good guys
Shame
can
on
just
them.
idly stand there and watch bad things happen, though, don't they? Every fucking day I'm disappointed by fucking good guys because they don't do shit.
And that's another thing. Sometimes not doing anything is just as bad as doing something bad.
Right?
You have to stand up sometimes.
Use that privilege, homeboy. Wake up. Say something. Don't let Brett fucking harass women when you're out partying. Maybe tell Brett to put the beer down. Mm-hmm. And Halloween's like right around the corner, so you know the shit's happening.
I mean, I think I hear about that all the time, especially where we're at, because of college girls. And, you know, it's a college town, and they, you know, drink a little much, and then are dressed in slutty versions of anything.
Right. I better not see your ass as a fucking Native American. I better not see your ass as a fucking Mexican. Anything, bitch. I am so tired. If I see... I don't know where the fuck they think they can get off doing the blackface shit anymore. It's 2018. Grow the fuck up and put the fucking shit down.
Right.
Be purple, bitch. Be something else. Be creative.
Be something truly terrifying.
Be
a
Brett.
couple Halloweens ago, I went as a plague doctor, and people thought it was a little much. And I'm like, excuse me, this is historical fact, and that's fucking terrifying.
Right.
Let me tell you right now, the plague is not a joke. And so that I thought was fun, and I didn't have to, pretend to be anybody because it was historical. Like it was a plague doctor, literally.
Yeah, and so if you don't know what a plague doctor would wear, it's like this big beak, like mask.
Something
right?
about walking up like a human with a beak just looks scary.
It's unnatural.
And I didn't need to pretend to be an ethnicity or a culture. I was being something truly terrifying.
You were a doctor.
I was trying to evade mass plague and pustules of black plague.
It was just creepy. And then, you also have to let people know that your partner dressed up as something also freakishly creepy.
Truly terrifying. Yeah, he wore a baby mask, a gigantic laughing baby mask.
It was fucking creepy.
With a red tank top, and I'm pretty sure, I don't know if he was carrying a gun or a bat, but it was something.
Some weapon.
There was a weapon of some sort being carried, and we were pretty terrifying.
Yeah, you were lurking in the fucking alleys.
Well, that's the point. That's the point of Halloween. Let's make Halloween scary again. Just kidding.
Oh, God.
Sorry.
It is scary. The elections are coming up, too. I hope you're registered to vote, because if you're not, it's too fucking late.
I thought it was cool that the Love Garden downtown, like a local record shop, had a registration area.
Good.
It's accessible.
Yeah. Is it? Yeah.
Well, I mean, in that area.
Yeah.
Hey, I read something about your guys' hometown.
Oh, yeah?
That there's only one place there to vote.
The Civic Center. Everyone has to get in line.
They're moving it out of town. Did you hear that?
No. How is people going to vote?
They're moving it out west or something?
Yes, they're literally moving it outside of Dodge City.
So it's no longer the Civic Center? Where are we going to have our fucking quinceañeras and proms?
Well, the Civic Center is still going to be there, but your right to vote, though,
is moved
outside
to the west side of town?
No, outside of city limits, like out of town.
Okay, we're voting early and we're gonna get some buses, bitch. We're gonna bus people in.
Like, please let me know where I can contribute to busing people over there.
Bitch, you don't even know how. It's because of the voter suppression in the western part of Kansas. They don't want brown people to vote in Kansas. That's Chris Kobach's fucking KKK shit. God damn it.
But make sure that you're letting your family know how important it is to vote, too. Shit, I try to tell my mom every year, go vote, because this actually does affect you.
It's a privilege that you have to take. Like, if you're sitting there and you're worried about, oh shit, how many times have I been silent about, somebody being harassed or hurt? This is another time where you have to get your ass off your fucking couch and get your ass in the booth, because that's a voice that you have that others do not. You have a fucking privilege to be at that booth, bitch.
Right, because, my family in Puerto Rico pay taxes, do everything. They're citizens, but they are second less than citizens because they cannot vote. So in my mind, I should definitely exercise my bone of voting or whatever, because that's something that if I were on the island in my native motherland or whatever, I could not vote.
Well, there's still people who can't vote. If you look at Pakistan or whatever Middle Eastern countries are having elections at the moment, they're having a hard time even getting people to register, but when they do register, it's an act of dissent. Even registering to vote means that you are putting yourself out there, telling the government that you're going to fucking do a thing that they have been trying to suppress for a long time. And we're living in that active environment. Whether you realize it or not, our government is trying to suppress certain people from voting. And we have to let them know that that's not fucking cool. Every person who has a legitimate claim to their citizenship should have access to put in their fucking voice as to whether or not the fucking dick licker who's sitting at the top gets to tax them for their education, their health care, their access to energy, whatever the fuck it is. Like, we have a right to say, hey, I don't think the money should go to X, Y, and Z. It should go to this instead. And that's how you do it. You basically
don't give me
vote.
that whole, well, my vote doesn't count. Well, it definitely doesn't count if you don't do it. Like, show them in numbers. Even if it doesn't matter. It doesn't.
Do it out of fear. Fuck it. We're literally like living in the apocalypse. That's what I did. I was literally like suppressed out of voting when I was younger. And when I was 18 years old, I tried to register to vote, and they had put so many extraneous circumstances on me that it was just like, fuck it. What's it worth? Nothing, because it's not worth it for me to be able to do this anymore. But then after I saw the fucking anger and the violence that was incited by our current administration when he was running, when Donald Trump was running, that shit scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, I really couldn't believe it. That's the first time I fucking
voted. Like, and that's disappointing for my generation to say that I didn't vote for, like, Obama. The first fucking thing that I voted was to vote against hate. And that was scary. Like, I could have voted for change, but it really suppressed me. Like, I was trying and dodge, and it didn't work. Like, they make it impossible. You have to have, like, 2 forms of, like, picture ID and an address and, like, some other bullshit.
I get it because, like, they just want to... I get due process and having policies and stuff. You don't want everyone just walking in willy-nilly or whatever.
But
I'm not sure who they're trying to prevent or whatever, but I've always been asked, even at the polling station, I'm always showing my ID. I'm surprised they didn't when you got there.
No, it was like during registration, like there was like at the mall or something. Because they didn't ask me when I was getting my ID.
Oh, okay.
Or they didn't, like, I don't remember not being able to do the registration when you get your ID or something. Mm-hmm. Or I had to show something to make sure. It was really confusing. But that's the thing, like, there's so many fucking tricks that they do, like, to suppress people. So
thank goodness I had a public school education that actively taught me how to vote. I mean, I know not everyone has that. Well, I mean, I was also a fucking nerd and took AP political government. So
how do you feel about the government?
I actually learned a lot from my teacher, though, because a lot of what's happening that is really angering me is that they're bastardizing what's supposed to make voting and what is supposed to make our political system work, because they're using it to their own gain. And that's not supposed to be what a government does. In fact, that is anti-bridging church and state, by the way, first of all. Second of all...
What's anti-bridging?
Well, I mean, like, you're supposed to keep separation of church and state, but the fact that they're using very religiously charged arguments for anything that the administration does, it really bothers me. And I'm not anti-Christian. I'm not anti-atheism. I'm not anti the Church of Satan. I'm not anti any of that. Honest to God, I just believe that our political systems should do just that. Fucking mandate my taxes, stay the fuck out of my tits, and move on. Like,
for real though, like, just let me be able to go and get my address changed and do my taxes and make sure that the road I drive on to do that is good and great.
And I'm pissed that
stop fucking shooting people and militarizing our fucking police.
Actually educate your policemen, okay? Like, if you're gonna use my tax dollars, quit fucking requesting $1 million police houses and actually spend that money on educating the people that you hired to protect. That's what a government should be doing.
Right.
I don't give a shit what your building looks like. I give a shit about what your officers are doing
and how they're educated. Like, I want my officers to have like a good, solid social work background.
To serve and protect, but that does not mean to serve and kill you in order to protect, because I'm sorry, even the army, who does actually kill in the name of protecting